What's going on YouTube? This is BXMama718 back at you with another video, and today I'm doing a quick update and a Q&A on the Asus ROG Zephyrus G14 2023 edition. You guys seen in the previous video, I did an unboxing of this and a quick first impressions and first boot. In this video, I'm doing a quick update, and I see you guys asked some questions in the previous unboxing video, so I'm making an attempt to answer some of those questions in this video. Okay, now I'm very ecstatic in doing this quick update because I was going to wait to do the full review, but because I am so impressed by this machine, I was just extremely excited to put something out there for those of you who are chomping at the bit to get some more details and information on this wondrous machine that is laying before me right here. This thing is dropped from the sky, from the gods, and say, here you go. You know what I'm saying? The ROG gods, and say, here you go. This is our love letter to you guys. So thank you, Asus, for creating this product. What I'm going to do is go over some specs. Then I'm going to give you some of my impressions through my interaction with it in a short amount of time that I've had it. And then I'm going to jump into some question and answers, okay? All right, next, I'm going to give you some of my impressions on this device. All right. Okay. First thing I want to say is this is one of the best laptops that I've had my hands on. I know I've displayed some laptops on this channel before, and there's also some laptops that I've touched and handled and purchased or whatever that I did not display on this channel. And I will say this is my favorite laptop thus far. I mean, I was not expecting to be this blown away by this laptop with these minor updates that they don't even count as features per se, but Asus has listened to its fans. It has listened to buyers who have purchased this device last year and the year before and the year before that, and they have just improved it. This is as good as it can get in regards to this design, all right? So let me get over to you what these things are real quick, and then we're gonna open it up and show you around the device, etc. First and foremost, one of the big major issues or complaints that came from a lot of fans was the backlight bleed. All right, now I've experienced this myself using, I think I got 3 different devices and experienced backlight bleed, heavy backlight bleed on each one of these devices. Also, there were some areas at the bottom that had like a yellowish tint to it. Well, I'm happy to say that they have a new display. This one is G-Sync, right? It has 165 hertz in regards to its refresh rate as opposed to 120 from the previous year, okay? QHD plus, however, it has very minimal backlight bleed. And I am extremely ecstatic about it because that was the one thing if I saw, I was going to return it. Now, there is backlight bleed, right? So I'm not saying there's none at all. And this is common with IPS displays, but there is a backlight bleed. However, I've seen it in the bottom of the display. More so at the lower right, there's a pocket of backlight bleed there, and there's a little bit, a smaller pocket in the lower left, and the one in the lower right that you can see, it does have a slight yellowish tint, but it is not as extreme and not as bad as it was for last year's model. I'm telling you, this is an extreme upgrade with this display. They did a great job. Maybe I got the pick of the litter, I don't know, but I will say that that backlight bleed is minimal now. The second thing is that the keyboard color is more uniform with the chassis, and it matches better with the Moonlight white accessories, right? And as you can see, I did an unboxing of 2 accessories to go with this thing, and it goes with it, matches with it flawless. Last year, the keys had like a greenish tint to it, and it really messed up kind of the cohesiveness and uniformity of the chassis design, and I did not like that, but they fixed it, okay? This one also has a full HD webcam, which is slightly better than the HD webcam they had last year. It's not a huge, significant difference in regards to quality. However, it is better nonetheless, all right? Also, as I mentioned previously, this has 165 hertz refresh rate, so that is an improvement over last year's model, and it's a G-Sync display as well, all right? So that's good, all right? Also, the keyboard flex, man. It is gone. This thing has no keyboard flex. Last year, there was some keyboard flex. This year, there is none. All right? Also, another big thing, and again, I'm going to show you all these things, so just bear with me in talking. Last year, because of the rubber feet on the lid and the ergo lift design, the base wasn't sturdy. You can push it and move it around. I'm happy to say that this year it is gone. That is not there anymore. And it's because they changed the feet on the back. And I'm going to get into that in a second, all right? Also, this unit no longer overheats. Last year, model was overheating in performance mode, turbo mode, and manual mode, so much so that you felt it through the keys. It was very uncomfortable. You had BSODs, black screens, all types of issues that was happening with it. This year, it is gone. I'm telling you, this is not there no more. It's so good, in fact, and the fans done such a great job, and they may have made some minor improvements to vapor chamber, whereas the keys where your WASD keys are on the left and the keys on the right is cool to the touch when the fans are running. There is some warm spots in the center and below. However, it is not unbearable. It is warm and you will feel it, but it is not unbearable. Again, excellent improvement they did on the cooling and the fans and the vapor chamber. I'm here to report that that issue is no longer here, okay? Now, this also has 16 gigabytes of RAM soldered on to the main board. Last year was 8 gigabytes. This year is 16. Plus, they have an open SODIMM slot, so you can add a second. But you can add a stick to it and get 32 gigabytes of DDR5 in dual channel mode. All right. So they raised the max limit from 24 gigabytes to 32 gigabytes, and that's exceptional for a 14-inch device. All right. Now, the CPU and GPU as well are generational upgrades from the previous year, and it shows in the benchmarks. This thing smokes. The I think it was the 6900HS, and it was also the 6800S and 6700H Radeon GPUs. This thing blows them out the water. Like, I mean, it is well worth the upgrade. I'm telling you, this thing is great. When you see the benchmarks, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Lastly, the touchpad or the trackpad is great. No issues. The only nitpick that I have is that it's too wide. I wish it was a little narrower, but that's just my personal liking. However, it does not interfere with typing at all. It has great palm rejection. So as long as you're not typing like a knuckle dragger, you should be fine. All right. Now, if I did have some nitpicks, again, I have no cons with this device. None. They changed the badge over here so that it's a really nice looking iridescent chrome, better than the fuchsia, magenta, whatever they had last year that I did not like. And it goes uniformly with the chrome accent on the back. This one does not have the animatrix, but I'm gonna get into that. But it has that prism kind of iridescent look to it when you put it in different angles, which is beautiful. The paint job looks much improved from last year. I mean, I have no qualms with this thing, all right? Now, there is no fingerprint reader on the power button, so that right there, for some people, may be a downside. For me, I would have loved to have a fingerprint reader there, but it does have Windows IR or Windows Hello, so I guess you can get by with that. It does still have soldered RAM. I would have preferred to have two socketed SODIMM slots. However, I understand there's only but so much you can do on that main board, so much space you can have on that main board when you still have to accommodate a 76 watt-hour battery and a huge vapor chamber. So I understand that. I'm able to forgive it. And what I've been told, and I have not verified, but what I've been told by you guys is that even with the 16 gigabytes of soldered DDR5 RAM, it's running in dual channel mode. I was unable to see that in CPU-Z and other apps, but I'm gonna take you guys' word for it. And then if you add that extra slot and get the 32 gigs, is it triple channel, quad channel, dual channel? You guys let me know, all right? And lastly, this model comes with 0.5 terabyte of storage. And again, I don't know how I feel about the 0.5 terabyte storage. I wish it came with 1 terabyte. The good news is it's upgradable. So you can put up to 4 terabytes, if I'm not mistaken, into this device in that soda slot, in that M.2 slot, and you guys should be good to go. All right. Again, I'm just very ecstatic to talk about this. So forgive me my little fumblings, but again, I really love this machine. I think it's great. However, I do plan on returning it after I give you guys the review. You're going to say why? Well, the reason why is because there is an AMOLED version or a mini LED version of this thing. that is only available with the 4090 GPU. And I'm going to return this in hopes that it will become available either on Newegg, Amazon, Asus, or Best Buy so that I can purchase it and have the best of the best in a 14-inch compact chassis. Hopefully that's available. If it never becomes available over the next month or so, then what I will probably do is purchase the 4070 version that has a 1 terabyte of storage, and that 4070 has 12 gigabytes of GDDR6 VRAM, which makes this thing practically future-proof, all right, with the QHD Plus display, all right? So that's all I'm saying. Now, the 4070 version is $1,849.99 at bestbuy.com or at Best Buy. This model was $1,599.99 from Best Buy, okay? So I want to give that to you, all right? Now, in regards to the battery life, I got about 8+ hours, and that's doing productivity, web browsing, streaming music, some Netflix, right? 8+ hours. In order to get that, I had to put it in silent mode profile. I had to put it in the eco mode, which disables the DGPU, but you have to turn on Optimus in the control panel for that to function. I lowered the screen refresh rate to 60 hertz and lowered the screen brightness to 30%. I had it between 20 and 30%, right? And I turned off the RGB backlit keyboard, and all of that enabled me to get 8 to 10 hours out of this thing. So if you're a college student, you need it for work, whatever the case may be, to hold you the full day, this thing will not disappoint, all right? So let me go ahead and show you around the device from some of the things that I'm talking about. Then I'm going to go into Q&A, and then I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, so let's get into it. Let me show you around a couple of things that I'm talking about. All right, first and foremost would be this, you see this chrome iridescent badge. I mean, it looks beautiful, man, beautiful. If you look at it from a distance, it is all chrome, and it matches this chrome accent on the back right here, okay? And this is just a nice touch, nice upgrade from last year. I call it an upgrade from last year because the fuchsia was off, and you guys heard me in the previous video. I was wishing that was gone. It also has some iridescent prism design here in these machine holes. You can't really see it, right? But it's there. It just gives it that nice character, nice touch. I really like it, all right? On this side here, you have your vent right here, and you have your power adapter. Now, I mentioned port placement. I wish that the power connector was on the back, man. Come on, Asus. I know next year you're going to do an overhaul of this design, and that's fine. But if they would just put that power in the back, I will be okay with the ports here on the side. I know they can't put nothing on the back, which we're about to see in a second, but at least you could have put the power port back here. That would have been a device that was nigh perfect. Right here, you have your cutouts for your speaker. All right, on the back, as you can see, there's nothing here. You have your Zephyrus, nice little Zephyrus wording here, which is a nice little touch. You have your venting here on the back with your heat sinks behind it. All right, now, what I was mentioning before are these new rubber feet. Now, last year, they were a soft rubber material. This year, it's a hard rubber material. I don't even know if it's rubber. I think it's a very hard rubber material. Now, you're about to see that because of this, it fixes the sliding issue that was happening going on from last year. Right now, the bottom of the device that you can see right here has a very long rubber foot, right, which keeps it stable when you have it flat on a surface. However, once you lift the lid and that ergo lift occurs that lifts up the base like this, and you have to depend on these little feet right here to keep everything stationary and stable. Last year, it was doing a poor job. This year, they fixed it. There's no sliding. You guys will see that, all right? Now, on this side right here, you have more venting. You have your 2 USB Type-A ports, 1 Type-C port, and a micro SD card slot. Now, again, wish list, what I would have liked is a full SD card slot, but it's all good because when I film, I use a SD card adapter with the micro SD card, just so that way it's compatible with the tablet, with my phone, and as you can see with these laptops, right? Here's another cutout here for the speakers, all right? All right, and there's nothing here on the front, all right? So let me show you guys what it is that I'm talking about, all right? So let's open this thing up. All right, now, last year, the base was moving around. Watch this. Nothing. You have to put some force in order to actually shift it. They fixed it. They fixed it. Okay, now let's take a look at the keys. All right, look at the keys now. The key color no longer has that green tint to it. It is nice and uniform. It goes perfectly with the Moonlight white accessories. Here's one over here for example. This is the Gladius 3. This is a wireless gaming mouse, but you can also use the paracord if you want it for wired, and it matches it perfectly. All right, as you can see, it looks like now there is like a, I mean, it's not the same color as the base because the base looks like it has some kind of resin coating onto it. So this actually does stand out a little bit, but it looks much better than last year. Trackpad is excellent to click on, move around. I had no problems using this thing, navigating this thing. I mean, it was phenomenal. Really, really good. No complaints. All right. All right, so keyboard they fixed, the shifting they fixed, trackpad is still good in the same. All right, keyboard flex, look at that. There is no keyboard. I have to really put pressure on it to flex this thing. This thing is rock solid, it's stable. I mean, no keyboard flex. I had no problems typing. Key travel was excellent. It doesn't bottom out. It's very clicky. Right, but not mechanical clicky, but clicky enough that it has that nice tactile feel to it. And again, that's great. Here's your full HD webcam at the top. Right here with Windows Hello via the IR that's built into it. Okay. But yeah, this is a phenomenal laptop, man. I'm telling you guys, I really enjoy it. If you was on the fence about this, buy it now. Any of you guys that bought last year's model on that Best Buy deal, hopefully you're still within those 15 days. Return it ASAP and get this one. This is worth every penny. All right. All right. So now we're here with the screen on. As you can see, I have the Gladius 3 wireless gaming mouse with the Aimpoint optical sensor on it that has a 36,000 DPI resolution. All right. Now also the keyboard. People have been asking me about the keyboard, and I want to show you guys that keyboard real quick. All right. So let me hit these lights. Here's the keyboard right here. That's the highest setting for the keyboard, and you can see for yourself. In the dark, look how bright this keyboard gets. All right, now this is the keyboard with the lights on. And with the keyboard, you can still see the RGB. It's not super bright, and that's because of the white keys, but you can still make it out with a lot of light. I don't think anybody would be using the keyboard with a lot of light like this. For me, it only makes sense to use it at night in the dark if you have a dim lit room or something like that. But you can still see the RGB. It's just not excessively bright. All right, so I want to make sure I point that out. All right, so let me go ahead and answer some of the questions that you guys have left on the previous video. And the first question is, do all G14 models come with 16 gigabytes of soldered RAM and a SODIMM slot? Yes, they all come with 16 gigabytes of soldered DDR5 RAM, all right? How's the battery life? Great. With some tweaks, expect to get 8+ hours, all right? First time boot takes a while. Is it like that every time afterwards? No. Only the initial boot takes that long for setup. Afterwards, everything boots almost instantaneously, all right? Is this an IPS panel or mini LED panel? The 3050, 4050, 4060, 4070, and 48 models all come with IPS displays, and it's the same display. The 4090 model is the only one that has the AMOLED or mini LED display, all right? How is the heat and the fan noise? Well, the system does a much better job at keeping the temperatures at bay. The only time I heard the fans was in performance mode when I was running benchmarks and gaming, and in turbo mode doing the same. When the fans spin up in performance mode, you can hear them, but it's not that distracting. However, in turbo mode, you may want to wear a headset if you're gaming because you will hear those fans, all right? Does the 4060 model have the Animatrix lid? No, only the 48 version has the Animatrix lid. Now, what Asus had shared, and that was at CES this year, what Asus has said was that they cannot do a mixture of both the AMOLED display, mini LED display, and the Animatrix. And the reason why is because of how the lighting is either faced towards the screen or faced away from the screen. They cannot do both. So what they decided to do is for the 4080 model, it has the Animatrix display if you're interested in that. And then for 4090 model, which is the model that I'm looking to get, they have the mini LED, right? Does the model have the, do you think that the 4060 is decent enough for 1440p gaming? Yes, I do. I could comfortably game at native resolution, but depending on the game, especially if it's a AAA game, I'll have to dial back some of the settings to like medium high in order for me to achieve a really good 60 frames per second. However, if I kept it at ultra high settings, again, you're going to see a huge performance hit, all right? Especially at this resolution, and that this only has 8 gigabytes of GDDR6. However, if you get the 4070 model, 4080, and 4090 model, which has 12 gigabytes of GDDR6, up to 16 gigabytes of GDDR6, you should not have a lot of those issues. Plus, the 4080 and 4090 performs way better, as you know, generationally better than the 4060 and 4070, all right? So those are 7 questions that you guys asked, 7 questions that I've answered. If you have any other questions when this video goes up, leave them down below. Thank you, Asus, for listening to your fans and giving us this love letter of the G14. You made something that was great, better, and we appreciate it, all right? So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this mini update as well as the Q&A. And again, please support this channel. The best way to do that is to subscribe to our Patreon. Pick one of the tiers just so you can donate and support this channel, and that would expedite me putting out more reviews, putting some behind the scenes and other reviews that I've never put on this channel. I'll stack them onto Patreon as well, assist with the funds and me purchasing whatever laptops that's out there that you guys would like for me to review, and I'll be more than happy to do it, right? So again, Patreon is the best way to support this channel. Also, please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, because I have more updates, not just with the G14, but tons of other videos coming soon this year. I had to wait a couple of months for these things to come out like I did last year, but now that everything is streaming out, I'm going to have more content for you guys. Make sure you like the video and share it everywhere, all right? Appreciate you guys. See you in the next video. Peace.